Hey guys, Jonas here. I want to tell you how we started racing. So 1 year ago we decided we want to go to the race and we want to do that cheap. As I'm from Europe, I thought, hey, I should get a Beamer. So I started looking for the BMW on a gum tree here in Australia. I was looking all around and I found a 323 CI manual, and the ad was for $1,500, 2 hours from Sydney. So the car was running, car had rego, lady was driving the car to the shops, to the job, everywhere. But the funny part is, fuel tank was hanging on the ropes, the exhaust was hanging on the zip ties. I thought, okay, it's pretty funny, but I'll fix it. Apparently it wasn't that easy because there should be mounts welded to the body, but they were not there. Chipped off. I don't know what happened to the car, and yeah, so it was it's really fun to remember. Suspension, pretty much there was no suspension. The interior was really bad condition, so I got the car for $800. I took the car back home. We started stripping out all the interior. We did it in 1 day. Then I made a list what I need. So first thing in the list was roll cage, roll bars. The Peter, thanks Peter for helping us out. So Peter did a roll cage and the seat mounts for $2,700. So we did the roll cages, and I had to buy seats, and I got 2 OMP seats with the harnesses and plenty of other stuff. I spent $2,750, which I took to the Peter, and he installed the seats as well. That was really convenient. So we got the car maybe in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks it was finished, but it had no suspension. Nothing else was done. So we brought it back home, and I started looking for the suspension. And I knew I don't want to put a eBay suspension. As everyone putting eBay suspension, yeah, you can get a coilovers for $500, but handling of the car is not really cool. So I was looking for something better, and I found Bilstein B12 Sport suspension kit, which is basically really similar to the original suspension that this car comes, but it's a bit stiffer and it's just a bit lower than the original one. And I found that one for $1,200 if you're gonna ship it from Germany, but I paid taxes, and yeah, we got like $1,800 for all the suspension. So that was 4 shocks with springs, a few other small parts, but basically all the other suspension is left here original. We installed the suspension ourselves together with small brake upgrade. We installed a 3-liter brake system in the front, and the rear just slotted brake discs and better brake pads. So this car is running with Project U brake pads. They're really nice. They were shipped from Japan, and 2 sets of the brake pads were $1,800 as well. They're pretty expensive, but they're good. So besides roll cage and the seat harnesses, everything else we did ourselves. So that was suspension, brakes, window net, kill switch, all the liquids. We used pretty good oil. That was liquid moly 10W60 oil, which is expensive as well, but we wanted the engine to survive the race because it's 24-hour race. We used the Motil 660 racing brake fluid. For the cooling system we were only using distilled water, because apparently you're supposed to use just water. And pretty much that's it. We were pretty we're ready to test the car. So we took the car to the Latham track close here to Sydney. We were driving all day, testing it out. We were pretty happy about the car. It was all good, it was working, it was kind of fast. The only thing we were not happy was tires, and at that time we didn't have brake pads, but we were still doing like 59 seconds a lap, and it's a pretty good time in the track. That was 1 week to the race. So as soon as we came back of the track, the next day I ordered the new set of tires, and went to the shop. We put the new tires on, and we did a wheel alignment, because I was not really happy with the wheel alignment that we had on the track. I don't know if we did better or not, because I only been at that track with this car just once, and just once overall, and that's it. The only thing is we did not have our brake pads yet. They only came the last evening before the race. So the night before the race we installed the brake pads and left to the Wakefield track. Friday, Lanningham track. The Friday is basically just for trainings, testing your car and parts, but we had brand new tires and brand new brake pads, so my work was to heat the brakes and prepare them for a race. So I was just testing the car out, and then the problem started. We lost one caliper. I don't know why, what happened, maybe because of the heat, maybe the screws just unscrewed and got loosened and we lost the screw and the caliper just fall off. Good thing is nothing major happened. We got a new bolts, glued it in, fixed the brakes, went back to the track and just finished the Friday like that. It was a bit stressful, but we managed to finish the day with just training day. The next day the race started. It was really fun day. We went there on the track. First part of the day was really good. We were doing 1 minute 16 seconds in the Wakefield. When it's 70 cars in the track, it's a pretty good timing. We were in the 7th position and we were not pushing the car that much because it's just the start of the day. But just after the lunch, we lost the power steering. At first, it might look that we don't need the power steering, but the system started overheating, and I was afraid that we're gonna lose the belt, so we had to come back, stop the car, check it, and yeah, apparently steering pump was breaking apart and it was stopping the belt. The belt was heating and it could have cracked any second, so we started looking for the parts, and as BMWs are not really popular at race in Australia, no one else had BMWs, so no one else had spare parts. We went to the shops in Goulburn. It's a small town. It's a 3 hours drive from Sydney. They have nothing for Beamers, nothing at all. They have Holdens, Fords, Toyotas, but nothing for Beamer. So we found someone in Sydney who went to the shop, bought the pump, and came to Goulburn, and the pump was wrong. It was not fitting, but we spent half a night and we managed to build one working pump out of those two. We installed the pump and went to the race again. Yeah, we lost a lot of time. We were like in the 34th position and the car started overheating. The thing is, when I was buying the car, the owner actually told me that the radiator, thermostat and the water pump are brand new. So while building the car, we thought they're brand new, let's save a couple of $100. What I found that the thermostat was not opening, the engine was heating, and we lost a lot of coolant, so we just took the thermostat out because we couldn't get a other one, but we managed to get a other water pump. We installed that. We lost few more hours from the race, and we came back to the race just to finish the race and just have fun and finish the day. Maybe 50 laps later the engine starts overheating again, but big time. So we came back to the pits and all the lights, all the dashboard lights are on, so something's wrong, and the engine is making really strange sound and it just shut off. We couldn't start anymore, so we checked the compression. There's no compression. The head is cracked. It's only 2 hours to the finish of the race. That was our race. That's the story how we started this cheap race with a cheap car build. And when I say cheap, it's not actually that cheap. At first we're thinking our budget is 9 grand, but when you start, when you find all those small parts and pieces, when you buy seats, roll cages, suspension, all the liquids, because oils were really expensive. We don't have a trailer, so we have to hire a trailer each time we take the car to the service, or each time we take the car to the track, or each time we take the car somewhere. So we hired the trailer, we bought a window net, we bought a kill switch, we bought all those wires. It's not a big things, but there's so many of those things. So in total we have $16,138.07 to build this thing, which didn't even last one race. Of course, if you just want to have fun and if you just want to do something, you might say, oh, I should have bought coilovers from eBay, I should have bought different oil. I shouldn't have changed the brakes, but you know, that's me. So we came back off the race and we start thinking, what's next? We have the car, we have pretty much 17 grand sitting there, which is not working. The engine is dead, the painting is funny, so no one's gonna pay us 17 grand. So what to do next? Should we fix this engine, which is 125 kilowatts and it's not that fast, or should we put a 2.5 liter in it because it's pretty much bolt on, or should we do something else? And just while thinking what to do next, I actually was just scrolling in the internet and I went to the Pickles auction and I found this crashed 330i sedan, manual, and I thought, yep, that's the go. So I bid and I won. I got the 330i manual 2001 for $2,200, including all the taxes. Now we're gonna swap it. And why swap it? Because we have a roll cage, we have our seats, we have everything, and most of the parts in this car is from 3 liter already. So what we need to do is just swap the engine and swap the wirings. And we're probably gonna put the rear diff in the back from the 3 liter, because this one diff ratio is 3.15 and that one is a 330i, which is more fun. The gears are shorter, so we might be a bit faster. And stay tuned, guys, because in the next part we're gonna show the 330i and what we are expecting from the next build. Maybe it's not even gonna be 24 lemons anymore, maybe we're going higher. These questions are so tricky.
Can you read and understand English? Try to... No.